Mother, how you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Good to see you. Been a while. Like you've been reaching out to me, asking me if I've been dead. Well, I ain't dead. I know some of you wished I were dead. I ain't. So, may there to you. I'm going to talk about the 2023 Clemson football team here in just a second. I'm going to give you my hot take. All right. There ain't nobody on the internet more qualified to talk about Clemson football than me. So, they out there and they saying that bunch of trash. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you they're lying. They are lying. Before I go on here first, I just want to throw this out there to you that you can now become a Dirkens family member. You can hit the join button below, and for a very, very small price, you can become part of the Dirkens family. Let me go ahead and tell you this. When I die, you ain't in the will. I ain't going to come over there and mow your grass. If your wife's got a boyfriend, I can't fix that. But if you join, it's a small fee, and it buys me good old ice cold beer. And if you want to hear, it's right below there. So let's dive right on in. In the annals of time, Clemson football has been wonderful to us in the past 10 years. But before that, we had the roller coaster ride of Tommy Bowden. They hired Tommy West out of 4-7 UT Chattanooga just because he used to work for somebody. Ken Hatfield was fired immediately because he dropped some games and everybody thought we're fixing it. No. And all the while people would scream until Dabo Swinney came along, bring Ford back. Well, in the past few years, Clemson football not been as good as they normally have been. You know it and I know it. In fact, I got my hands on the playbook for Clemson's former offensive coordinator, who's now an analyst with Georgia. And in just these few pages, it's the same play over and over again to the right and to the left, and a few notes that says something like, if you're playing South Carolina, you're running the ball and they're doing good. You're doing good, runner. Stop running the ball. We got to lose this game. But since then, he is gone. He's in Athens, Georgia, down there smoking pot with REM. And best of luck to him. No offense. We got that Garrett Riley youngin. He's coming here. Look, he's all fired up. Now, I will tell you, that youngin knows how to pose. He'll stand on the sideline. And he knows they're shooting pictures of him. He knows it. He knows. I guarantee you that man has hired him a coach to figure out how to stand on the sideline and be picture worthy. But his offense is really good. And then Wes Goodwin. I think Wes probably in his spare time probably invest in the stock market just for craps and giggles. This year we got a quarterback this young, and he moves all over the field. I mean, he's moving faster than if you set a cat's tail on fire and send it through a field. I mean, he is just absolutely moving everywhere. Now, everybody keeps coming on here and they're being fickle. They're like, he's not Trevor. Yeah, I know. He's not Deshaun. Well, that's obvious in more than one way. But my point in all of this is Cade Klubnik's going to be playing good. Now, I know everybody's worried about wide receivers. People's been hurt. People's been disgruntled. People ain't blocking down the field. Poor Adam Randall, every time he steps out of his car, something happens to him. I don't know. I hope the young in good health, and he'll come out and etch his name into the annals of Clemson football. He'll come out. I hope he does. Troy Stellato got to get better. And then our offensive line couldn't block a sneeze over the past few years. But hopefully, we're changing the playbook, trying to encourage them. Maybe them boys would decide to stop just being oversized human beings and actually block somebody. Maybe so. Running back room looks really, really good. You got your Will Shipley. Now, only beef I have with Will Shipley is his facial hair makes him look like a creeper. Like I could see right now if Will Shipley's driving past I don't know, a kindergarten, and the cops pulls him over and goes, "You don't need to be around here, your kind." And he's like, "What do you mean, my kind?" And they pull up a picture of other convicted people who's on a website, if you know what I mean, and say, I mean, you can't, I mean, I'm just telling you, that's the only problem I have with Will Shipley. Other than that, he is a world-class football player. Guy's always running hard. Then you got you Phil Moffa at Young, and I want to call him Frank all the time. I don't know. I might dub his name Frank. But he comes out and he does a good job. And you know, that Dominique Thomas, he did good in the spring and all that bunch of stuff. With our wide receivers going back to them, you got to look at that Bo Collins. Even when Bo's hurt, he goes out there and plays better than most everybody. And Antonio Williams, I'm telling you this, you got him out of Columbia, South Carolina. You got him out of Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm telling you right now, at Youngin, he wanted to just be out of Columbia, and who wouldn't? I mean, it is the rectum of South Carolina, the state. I mean, I'm just telling you, he came out, he did really good. Then you got that big, huge, what's his name? Jake Brennanstone, that big tight end Lord. He runs across the middle. He jumps, he snatches that ball out there. He's like he's just like a criminal smacking an old woman over the head, taking her pocketbook and running. He just possesses it just like that. And he does a good job. Now, what are my concerns with offense? Okay. What are my concerns with them? As I said, last year, the past few years, even with Tony, everybody was trying to, they were being all confident. It reminds me of that guy driving the boat where he wrecks all the people. We were supposed to act like that was okay the whole time. Oh, yeah, Tony's doing good. Tony's good. Brandon Strader's doing good. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. I'm sorry, they were not. I knew something was up with Tony when he admitted he forsook the run with Travis Etienne. Who do you need back there? Barry Sanders? I'll go ahead and give you a glimpse to the future. If you put Barry Sanders back there with no Barry Sanders name, he wouldn't have ran him either. Some of y'all are figuring that out now. I told you. I might be a killer of cats and singer of songs, but I'm also a teller of truth. But I think the offense is going to do better. And the first little bit of that schedule, I'm just going to go through this real quick. I ain't going to pull up schedule and everything. You can go look it up yourself, you lazy bunch of bums. First game is Duke. All right. They doing better up there, but when you've been awful the vast majority of time, even winning just a little bit, look at Kansas. Everybody was celebrating like they won a national championship. I think they still ended up sub 500. All right. So you know they gonna be okay. We got to show some respect to them because they're not the losers they normally are. But I think we're going to win that. It's weird. It's a Labor Day night. Probably a bunch of Clemson people's going to be absolutely drunk off their tail. You know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, next week got Charleston Southern coming up. Is Audrey Denson still coaching them? I'm too lazy to look it up. He was former Notre Dame running back, all-time running leader of all time. He's coaching them. They're going to get their brains beat in. The only good thing about them is they get to go back to Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston's a beautiful place. Expensive. Old. Don't go to North Charleston unless you want another hole. They'll shoot it into you. But Clemson's going to beat them too. Then they're going to play Florida Atlantic. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Tom Herman took over a mess. He took over a mess there at Texas. You remember when he was leaving, what was it, Houston he was at? I think it was Houston. Y'all forgive me if I'm wrong. Who cares? Nobody cares. And that woman put that microphone up in front of his face and said, "Is it true that you're going to LSU?" He goes, "Today's game is about these kids." Which in real speak is, yes, I'm leaving. Not for LSU, but I'm leaving. I ain't going to be here no more. Go watch it. His neck swelled up like he had some type of the mumps or something. I don't know what it was. He comes down. They're going to get beat. Then you got Florida State. You got that team. They just continue. Everybody's telling you, Florida State, 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 Florida State. Now look at me. I ain't saying that Florida State ain't good, but they are not the Florida State that came to town in the 90s. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. That's a pipe dream. They must have got on some crazy meth to think this team, they're a good team. They could beat Clemson. This is a toss-up game to a point, but I lean towards Clemson winning this game. And you say, why? I'm going to tell you why. It's in the Valley. Clemson has a lot more experience across the board. I think Clemson's defense is going to sneak up on a lot of people. I'm going to get to Clemson's defense. And you know what? I'm going to pause right there. I'm going to talk about Clemson's defense. Yeah, we lost Persay, we lost Murphy, we lost Trenton Simpson. And Lord, I'd love to have him youngins back. But when you got guys like Maskell, and then you got this Peter Woods young, and I was at the spring game, about cussed when he walked out. I mean, you're like, what? He was just in high school a few months ago. Yep. I mean, he looks like a freak. That Parker youngin, I think they called him the quarterback killer or something. You got Barrett Carter flying all over the place, Jeremiah Trotter. You know, a lot of these athletes, they have sons and name them Junior. You know, give them a hyphenated name or something, you know, because their mama wants to honor their maiden name, Johnson Jr. Martin. Who cares? I mean, trying to fit that on the back. I've seen some names. You try to put it on the back of a jersey, and it's like, you're going to have to take it down. The name is so long, it's like you're going to have to go down to the mall. Those people who write your name on rice, yeah, you're going to have to get them to write that on the back of a jersey. Okay. All right. We're going to need you to write this in there nice and neat because, you know, they're trying to honor every name in the phone book. Anyway, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has lived up to his daddy's name. All right. He ain't out there embarrassing. He's out there, he's balling, right? And then you got, you know, Barrett Carter. You got Tyler Davis back. Folks, I know I'm going to miss somebody. XT, y'all pray that he is healed, because if he just comes back even 80%, that he's going to kill somebody. Got Nick, you got Sheridan Jones. You got Makuba. I mean, you got guys like them. Nate Wiggins coming back. I know him, but Jalen Phillips. You got Jaden Lucas, former 5-star, sitting on the bench. I mean, you got a bunch of talent out there. A lot of people was only focusing on those studies that we lost. We got a lot of talent, and Wes Goodwin has not wet the bed, y'all. Or gave up 35 points to Notre Dame. He had an offense that was as pedestrian as an 85-year-old woman trying to cross the street in Manhattan. She might as well lay down and die. Once again, trying to act like everything was normal. No, it's good. Oh, our offense is good. It's about like this.
All that ride, jump in the fire too high.
Yep, that ain't good. I love Ernest T. Bass. He's been an integral part of the way I've grown up. He's the example of my life. But at the end of the day, I don't sit there and think that was the greatest song ever. But us as Clemson fans, we were supposed to go team, all in, and all that bunch of crap. How'd that work out for you? 35-14 lost to Notre Dame. A Notre Dame team that lost to Stanford at home. A Stanford team that David Shaw should have been let go or moved on 4 or 5 years ago. But you know what? He stood on the sidelines. In his head, he was on the beach somewhere with a cold drink in his hand, wading in the water, when in reality, there was a football game going on around. He didn't even care. And beat Notre Dame. Marshall beat them. They beat us by 3 touchdowns. That was not Wes Goodwin, y'all. That was our terrible offense. that was hiring from within because, well, we thought that would be a good move. But we've got Garrett Riley now. Let's go back to this. So you got your Florida State. Then we play Syracuse. I'm telling you, I don't think we're going to play around Syracuse this year. All right. I think Dino is on his last ropes too. Dino should have left Syracuse a few years ago. Somebody would have got them a good coach, but for some reason he likes being up there, and I think they're going to end up firing him. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. Wake Forest, we play Wake Forest, but and Sam Hartman's not with them, but we still can't get away from Sam Hartman. We're going to win that game. Then they're off. They go down to play Miami. Cristobal's not a bad coach, but good Lord, you want to talk about awful. We're going to beat them. Then we got to go play Dave, our old buddy up there in Raleigh, North Carolina. Dave, I've even had NC State fans basically allude to the idea that if Dave wasn't their coach, they wouldn't like him. That is a game you have to respect. I don't want to. I think if we went nose to nose, came in, played our best game, we'd beat the guys by 3 touchdowns. But it's one of those games, some reason, we always let them hang around. It's a game you got to watch out for. And then we got Notre Dame coming to town. See, Sam Hartman is back in his 47th year in college football. Sam Hartman is back. Got to play him. That's going to be it. Have you seen the ticket prices on that? I'm going to tell you right now what I'd do if I were y'all. You're going to go buy your tickets. Hold up. Don't be paying these preseason prices. They're inflated. They're nasty. They're unreasonable. Wait. Because by the time Notre Dame comes and plays us, they already played Southern Cal. Mm-hmm. They'd already played Ohio State. Mm-hmm. They'd already played NC State. Mm-hmm. So there's a great chance. They might walk in there with 2 or 3 losses. Now, you paid $500, sit on top of the stadium, one of those red lights on top of your head so an airliner won't hit you. And you didn't have to. A guy sitting beside you, how much you pay for a ticket up here? Oh, somebody just gave me tickets. They didn't want to come see this game. So I'm just telling you. Got to watch that one. That's possible loss, but I would not be shocked if they're. I'm just telling you. Georgia Tech. Now, if I needed somebody to engineer something for me, this would be where I'd go. I know Cliff's got a good engineering school, but I go Georgia Tech. This football. We're going to beat them. Next week, going to play North Carolina. Get to play our old friend Mac Brown. I always liked Mac. Mac has that hair that says, I'm from the upper crust, But now, since he's old, it says the upper crust is now in his hair because he probably doesn't wash it as much because he's older. He just don't feel like it. Got to play Drake May, but it's going to be in the Valley. We got the defense. He's lost some options. Still got to respect him. I think we win that game. Then we go down and we play. We have to go to the anus of South Carolina. And I'm telling you, as sure as a homeless man will crap your foot in San Francisco, we're going to be ready for this game. We have to respect them, but we're going to be ready for this game. They just ain't going to show up and everything. We have a different offensive coordinator, and I believe this guy actually is interested in just winning the ball game and doing it in a proven fashion. So even though I despise the chickens, even though Shane Beamer is better than them, somebody's going to come along and take him. They're going to come back down to reality. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Still have to respect him. As long as he's on the sideline, you have to respect him. That's like Steve Spurrier. You have to respect him as long as he's there. But look, I'm going to tell you right now, Clemson could easily win every one of these games. It's hard to go undefeated. They might drop 1 or 2. But I'm telling you right now, I think that this is the right way. I think this is good. So anyway, I'm going to be doing a few videos on my own. That moron, not Bobby Dirkens, that idiot, trying to steal all my airtime. And I'm going to tell you right now, he might sit there with his preppy cut hair and semi-enunciation. He might try to be all serious and stuff, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'd take that boy out back and I'd beat him like a car rug. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. He's the type you stomp real hard at and he'll scared and run off. Probably wet himself. probably embarrass himself. You know, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that, moron. Well, folks, listen to me before I go on. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. It's free, you bunch of cheapskates. Pass this around. Let everybody know Bobby Dirkens ain't dead. I don't know why y'all think I'm dead. And there's that subscription button or a join button. It's down here somewhere. It's, yeah, down in there. Join it. You can join for, I don't know, less than $5 per month. And it just helps me. It helps me with my child support. No, I don't have child support. But it helps me. It helps me. Okay, y'all. All right. Christmas is coming. Bobby Dirkens got to buy something good. You know, my goal is to take the family to Dollywood. But anyway, well, y'all be good. You take care of yourself, and well, I'll see you next time. Listen, you keep showing up. I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.